Hello, dear learner. Hope you are doing great. So, today I have come up with a new topic called How to Hold Vendor Invoice for Payments. So, hi, this is Deepak Singh, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Supply Chain Consultant. I am a Microsoft certified professional having 5+ years of experience in Dynamics 365 F&O. So, today we will learn about how to hold vendor invoice for payments. So, you might have heard that we hold vendors from various purposes, like from payments, from requisitions, from invoices. But the requirement is that how to hold invoice from the payments. So, let me quickly jump through the dynamics and show you uh, how we can do this. So firstly, I will just demonstrate you how we can hold the vendors. So let me go to the vendor master. So you all might be aware with this feature that we can hold the vendor for various purposes, like from invoice, from payments, from requisitions, from purchase orders, and from all the activities. So this feature we are having currently, and we can even hold the vendor completely also from the vendor mastercard. So now the requirement is that how we can hold particular invoice of the vendor from payments. So basically this is the requirement, like uh, a AP clerk or AP manager wants to make payment of those invoices which are having the less value, and he wanted to hold the payments of those invoices which are having a larger value, and he wanted to make payment later on and at some other date also. So how to control this feature? So basically, for this, we have a very good feature. We can do this on the posted invoice and unposted invoice also. So first, let me demonstrate with the posted invoice. Okay. So posted invoice is visible on multiple places. Like if I go to the accounts payable module, I have the open vendor invoice, and we will be having this invoice journal also. So let me open first the open vendor invoice. So these are the invoices of the vendor which are in open state. Okay. So let's say I wanted to block certain payment of this vendor. Let me select this vendor. So for this vendor, I am having the invoice. Uh, this is the invoice INVFT02. For this invoice, I wanted to block the payment. I wanted to hold the payment basically for this particular invoice of this vendor. So for this, I have to click on this invoice, and in general tab, I have to edit this feature, and there is the invoice payment release date. So basically we have to put this release date by till what date we wanted to hold this payment. Let's say if I wanted to hold this payment for infinitely, then we have the default date of Microsoft. This is 2154. We can put this. So this will be hold for indefinite period, and later on it can be changed also. So as of now, for example, I'm taking this to be hold from till 31st October only. Let me put this 2025. Okay. So I have shared it. Remember, this is my posted invoice, and I have put this invoice on hold for the payment. Now, if you see on the right side, let me just quickly refresh it. If you see, this payment hold invoices come up automatically. So basically, it denotes that this invoice is hold from the payment, and this one also. Now let's do the implication of this invoice, how it works. Now AP clerk go to the accounts payable module, and he will create a vendor payment journal. I have already created one vendor payment journal. Let me select that one only. So this is my vendor payment journal, the same vendor I selected. Now The clerk will click on the settle transactions and he will see that invoice. What was the invoice number? INVFT02. If I click on this invoice, I can select this. So you can see I can select this invoice for payment. Why I can select this? Let me go back and show you. So if you see the payment date is November 1st, and I have put that invoice on hold for payment till 31st October. So that's why it is visible to select that transaction. Let me put this invoice date as today's date. Now I'll go to the settle transaction and I'll try to select that same invoice. This is my invoice. So see, I just click on this, that mark box is not coming. If I select the below invoice, I can select this. Let me try to select this one also. Selected and not selected. So I cannot select that for payment. So this is the date, and if I select the payment date beyond that invoice release date, then I can select the payment for settlement. So this is the one part that where we do this for the settled, where we do for the posted invoices. Let's say if I create a new vendor invoice journal and I wanted to put this hold at the time of generation of the invoice, how we'll do this? Okay, so let me go to the invoice journal to create a fresh invoice. I'll click new and create one invoice. I have already created. I will demonstrate with this one only. Go to the lines. So let's say I have created this invoice, and here I have this feature called invoice tab. The same feature I'm having here also. Invoice payment release date. So while creating the vendor invoice, I can directly put the date. That till what date I wanted to hold this invoice for payment. That thing I can do. So this is for unposted and posted. We have learned how we can curb this. So there is one more thing that we can do. Let me go to this vendor one, and the transactions. See, I can go to either open vendor invoice, and once I open this invoice, it will directly land me to that vendor transaction only. So I can do either ways. Either I go through the open vendor invoice or vendor invoice, vendor transactions. So here I'll find my invoice, this one, invoice INVFT02. So for this invoice, I will go to the general tab. If you see, this date is already coming. Now let's say there is one more thing. Once I was generating the vendor payment invoice and I was able to see that invoice, but I was not able to mark that invoice for payment. So let's say if there is a requirement that user don't want to see that invoice in the settle transaction dialog box. He was just wanted to vanish this line completely from here so that it will not create a confusion for user. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to go to the posted transactions. Here we have the approved boolean. I just have to disable this approved boolean and let me click on save. So I have just done this for the invoice number INV FT02. Just let me quickly cross verify. General tab. Yeah, it is no more approved now. So this I have done. Now let me create one vendor payment journal with the same vendor, and let me try to select that invoice INV FT02, which is not coming here. So there's two important thing note to here. First, if I mark this transaction as unapproved, if you see, I have just marked this as unapproved. So there's two things. It will not be visible on the settled transactions, like here it is not visible, and it will also not be visible in the vendor open transactions also. If I go here, so see, it was earlier showing, just I done the soft refresh, it has vanished here from INVFT02 is not coming here. So before doing this change, make sure that this invoice will not be visible on the open vendor invoice and settled transactions. So let's say if some user is using this open vendor invoice reports, then it will give an incorrect picture, because there is one more invoice which was in open, but that is not coming here, which is my INVFT02. But this will be visible on the vendor transactions. I can show it is visible on my vendor transactions, and it will be visible on the invoice journal, posted invoice journal form also. So this is the two important thing that we need to let me just quickly make it as approved from unapproved to this is FT02 general tab, and let me approve it. Yeah, save it. If I go to on open transaction, let me quickly soft refresh. Now you can see, I can see that INVFT02 invoice in my open vendor invoices. Now I can see in the settled transactions also. So before doing this feature, be cautious. If someone is using this open vendor invoice report, he will not be able to see. So that's it in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day ahead.